Former Taiwanese ally Nauru says it has secured a 1 billion Australian dollar development project from a Chinese company. The Nauruan government says this project will develop key sectors, including renewable energy, fisheries, and water resources. The deal has raised concern in Australia, which just months ago signed a treaty with Nauru, promising support in return for a veto on matters of national security. But there's no record of the Chinese company in question in any documents, and some in Australia doubt the deal will go through, as Nauru's population of 12,000 does not justify the scale of this claimed investment. For more on the deal that Nauru signed, Alec MacDonald spoke to Graeme Smith, Senior Fellow at the Australian National University.
So alarm bells are ringing in Australia after Nauru signed a 1 billion Australian dollar deal with an obscure Chinese company. What are you hearing there?
Look, my counsel is that this is probably a scam and that people in Australia shouldn't be too alarmed by it. No one has heard of this company. No one particularly knows who this guy is, this fellow Zhang Yong who's shown up. And even on the Nauru side, it's not entirely clear who's negotiating this. So I really think it's very unlikely to amount to anything other than possibly a rather low-level scam by a Chinese individual.
Is this unprecedented that one of these deals does turn out to be a scam because China does conduct real diplomacy, albeit very shadowy, with other Pacific Island nations?
Not unprecedented at all. And Nauru itself has a long history of being scammed, not just by Chinese operators, but by Russian mafia operators. It really does have a track record of falling for this kind of thing. Now, in terms of Chinese operators in the Pacific, there's a long and glorious history. Recently, there was a fisheries park that was meant to be being built in the south of Papua New Guinea. It was just a couple of guys from Fujian who were chancing their arm. They didn't have the backing, they didn't have the resources, and unsurprisingly, it didn't happen. Similarly, in Solomon Islands, there was a more serious bid by a group called China SAM, who were trying to build allegedly a military base in the Solomon Islands. They were a bit more of a serious proposition. So again, this sort of murky businessmen, are they connected to the state? Are they not connected to the state?
Are there signs that this is a scam? Do we have records of this company even existing?
This is sort of a next level, at least with the fisheries park, they were a registered company in Papua New Guinea. Sure, they only had 2 staff, but, they were a registered company. There's no record of this company. So this is the irony of it. The other deals I talked about with China SAM and Zhonghong Fishing in Papua New Guinea, they were at least companies, whereas this appears to be registered precisely nowhere, not in Nauru, not in Hong Kong, not anywhere. So it's almost certainly some sort of scam being pulled by this guy or someone associated with Zhang Yong.
That was Graeme Smith from the Australian National University.